Good morning. My name is Elias Medina. I'm going to tell a little story how my father, Jesus Medina, immigrated to the United States from Mexico. Kind of influenced my decision to go in the military and stay in the military for so many years. Back during World War II, in the beginning of World War II, when the Americans were deep involved fighting the Germans and Japanese, a lot of the young soldiers, a lot of young members, yeah, young American guys were sent overseas. They were all drafted and sent overseas. So that kind of, there was a need to, who's going to tend the farms, who's going to work the factories. And that's when my dad, during that time with the seminary school, heard about it and decided to get out of seminary school, quit seminary school, and go move northern Mexico, close to the California border. And there were some contractors who contracted my father, him, and along with the other individuals. They went across the border and they started working the fields, picking tomatoes, working out there in the farms, cotton, whatever the agriculture needs were. My father was working it. They were getting paid pretty decent wages, living in dormitories and getting to know the people. And he kind of liked the culture because he got to go out. He liked the American culture, how they were all working hard for the cause against the Germans and the Japanese. He was very smart because he went to seminary school, and seminary school was like a university, so he knew how to read, especially in English, and he used to read the papers and was admiring the Americans, the way they work hard. Okay, so around that time, a few years later, the Americans won both wars. A lot of the American soldiers started coming back, and this program that the Americans had called the Bracero program, they kept it in place because a lot of the American soldiers came back. Now they weren't working the fields. Now they were owners of the fields. They were owners of the agriculture and manufacturing and farms, stuff like that. My father remained working here in the United States, and he was working this big farm in San Diego, California. He met the owner of the farm, big farm. They used to process flowers and onions and stuff like that. He met the owner. The owner was pretty good, nice guy, old World War II guy. They got along pretty good because he liked the way my dad was. And actually, on their breaks, they used to listen to classical music, and my dad loved classical music. And the guy asked him, "How do you know about classical music, being from Mexico?" Well, told him that he was a seminary school and he used to play classical music. So they kind of hit off, and several years later, made him the foreman, and then made him the manager of the farm. And they had a good relationship, owner/employee. Before you know it, he sponsored my dad to Jesus Medina to stay in the United States and become a legal immigrant. After several years, he became a legal immigrant, met my mother, and there I was. A few years later, I was born. And my dad used to tell me stories how he was always proud of providing for the United States, supporting the United States war effort. The military members did a lot, listening to the stories of his former employer, how he was out there fighting the jungles against the Japanese. Kind of influenced my decision to come in the military. And actually, since being I was the first member of my family to be an American citizen, the minute I turned 18 years old, I went in the military. And it made the sense ever since. My father was very proud, and I guess because of the stories he used to tell me during that era. And that's why I remain in the military. Proud to do my job for my country. Thank you much.